Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie and happy Monday. I am back with this week's WIP and Chat. If you are new, first off, of course, welcome to you. I'm glad that you're here and hope you enjoy today's video. And if you're back, of course, I'm so happy to see you as well. So it is currently Sunday evening and I am settling down to work on my current WIP, which WIP stands for work in progress, and it's virtually always going to be diamond paintings here on my channel. The kit that I'm working on in this video is called Semblance. It's from the artist Margaret Morales, and let me grab that picture. This is the artwork, the original artwork. The rendering of this diamond painting itself is not going to be nearly as detailed or pretty, but we're plugging away. This is from DIY Moon Shop or Die Moon Shop. This is where Margaret was licensed before she was at Diamond Art Club. This shop has since closed. So I hope that maybe we'll see this artwork someday at Diamond Art Club. That would certainly be a nice surprise to see this artwork done properly and done justice, in my opinion. But I have to say, in spite of the small size, which is equaling a pretty soft, blurry rendering, I'm actually still enjoying the process of working on this. So I won't have a link for you to this kit, obviously. It's possible you could find it in a D-stash. So it was released a little bit later on before, like not too long before DIY Moon Shop closed. So it might be tricky, but you could, send it to DAC. We'll see if it makes it through licensing and stuff, maybe. Anyway, I can, though, link to the shops for the accessories I have for you today. So this pen is from Norse Alchemist, and I just thought the pink with the sparkles was very on theme. This tray is from KC Ventures, and obviously we have, like, this fan art. It doesn't match with the this artwork, but I just thought this tray was really pretty, and the purple works. And then I'm going to be using WIP Wax in my single placer. This is the scent Lemon Sugar Cookie. And then I am trying to cycle through some of my putties that I haven't used. I have a lot more varieties of putty than I do wax, but I haven't used Creations More In putty in a while. So, but I was looking, and the Drills and Chills scent was the only one I was finding. I know that I have more somewhere from this company, but we're just going to go with the Drills and Chills scent, even though it's May. It's putty. It's going to work fine no matter what the season is. Let me clean out my placers and we'll get a fresh start with everything, and then we can get started. I have thoughts on this kit that I will share once we actually get started on it too. But if you're looking around the accessories and you notice anything about the symbols, you'll notice one of the things that is the opposite of my preference when it comes to different symbols. So, especially towards the end, when this company changed manufacturers and stuff, sorry, I need to put a little bit of, hold that thought. I need to put a little bit of extra washi tape around my multi-placer base here so that it fits snugly in the pen. It was feeling kind of loose. That's still kind of loose. Let's do a little more washi tape. Washi tape serves so many purposes when it comes to diamond painting. Who knew? Even when I picked my channel name, Diamonds and Washi, I did not realize how much I would use washi tape when it came to diamond painting. You know what? Oh, just ate all the washi tape. You know what? I really want just a little bit more. You can use washi tape for things like this, which is really useful with metal multi-placers. You can use it as a border on your canvas, and you can use it to section off your canvas like I have here. And like I actually need to measure off my sections. Okay, that placer looks just the tiniest bit bent, but oh well, that's fine. These 12 placers, they're so skinny, it doesn't totally surprise me that they bend. But anyway, ooh, this smells like fall. I opened it up and I was like, ooh, I'm smelling like allspice and cinnamon. I love it. I'm gonna fill up my placer on a more like firm surface off camera. My canvas, let me explain, in case you're new and you aren't aware of the context of it. So I diamond paint at my kitchen table, and because I don't have a dedicated crafting space. I have like a small desk, but it's absolutely not big enough to fit like a big diamond painting on. And right now it mostly just holds my diamond painting stuff and looks cute. So I diamond painted my kitchen table, but I have kind of like an unfinished wood textured table. And if I try to diamond paint on it, it's not perfectly flat. Between the texture and the kind of the rough wood itself, it's not ideal to just diamond paint straight on the table. So I have this like giant piece of flat cardboard from like a big box, and that's like sitting under the canvas to give me like a consistent flat surface. But it's not firm enough to like cut through a brick of putty to load up a multiplacer. So I just didn't want you to be like, why are you being so weird and filling up your multiplacer off camera? I don't know if anyone's actually thinking that, but I just felt like giving you the context for it. Anyway, we've gone down like 4 different rabbit trails and we haven't even placed any diamonds yet. So that is a pretty decent representation of how these WIP and Chats go sometimes. I just am here to chat about diamond painting stuff, fill you on like life stuff. I don't know. When I listen to a WIP and Chat or a vlog, they really are my favorite kinds of videos to watch because it just feels like hanging out with a friend. It's very chill and low key. And so I'm hopeful that I can be that for you guys too, because that's what I really enjoy. Okay, yes, I am a nut who uses a measuring tape. I calculate just sort of how many sections or how big do I want my sections to be so that they're roughly equal all around the canvas. I grab the dimensions and my calculator, I'm like, how big would my sections be if I did 9 rows or 6 rows or 4 rows? So I don't know. You guys don't have to do this. This is a me thing. But out of curiosity, are you someone that enjoys sectioning off your canvas with washi tape, and are you fastidious about it as well? Or are you a little bit more just follow your nose, peel back the plastic, and just go until you feel like you want to stop? I don't know. How do you guys like to go about it? Yeah, I've been a washi tape sectioning person for, I don't know. I tried other things earlier on, like release paper and stuff, and I just always come back to washi tape because I can customize it to like how big do I want it to be. Okay, let's open up a section and we'll get started. Okay, so I started to say, did I finish this train of thought? I feel like I didn't. The symbols on this canvas has something that I really don't care for, which is that they're all alphanumeric. Yeah, I think they're entirely alphanumeric. I find that when it's only alphanumeric symbols, they don't stand out to my eye as much. Like I'm looking at this and it's not like when there's more of a variety of symbols on the canvas where it's easier for me to go, oh, this symbol is really standing out from the others. I'm going to do this one. And then now this one is standing out. For some reason with alphanumeric, it takes me a little bit more effort to really notice the differences between the symbols. Is that weird? Anyway, this is the background color. I am using the Cottage Mills dot box storage system, which is actually my least favorite storage system ever. But because of a current challenge I'm doing, I have a lot of kits kitted up. So I have a lot of different storage that I need to use. And I keep feeling like someday I'm going to like this storage. I like that there's different sizes of containers and it's good for smaller projects, but it's so fiddly. The like little containers don't want to sit evenly in there. It's a real pain, but I'm a glutton for punishment and keep using it anyway because I'm like, but it works so well. Okay, so funny story. This background color. I'm going to try not to just continuously dunk on this company. Like they have closed. And I know I'm not the only one that has some like feelings about like how things went down when they closed. It was not a really clean kind of situation. So that's where some of these kind of complicated feelings probably come from. Also from being in a position where like I so badly wanted this company to succeed and I was fighting to like give them feedback and give them suggestions. And I felt like just trying so hard to be like, you guys were genuinely amazing a couple of years ago. And I want you to be able to get back to that. And then they didn't, and that just really sucked. Anyway, they made some interesting choices with the rendering, and that included this whole background color, this color block background color. They charted in a light pink AB, Now, what's funny is that this is like not even a good quality AB, which works out in its favor. Like half of these drills don't even have much of a visible AB coating on them. And you can kind of see over to the right-hand side a little bit. It gives it just a slightly textured look because I'm not about to try to go through these and pick out the good colors, like, or the good drills. I'm just like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. Hold on. This is fresh putty. I can't sit here and place a bunch of ABs with fresh putty. I just felt that stick and was like, uh-oh, I might have to grab my other pen to do this. Oh my gosh, I wasn't thinking. But like this is the symbol it makes the most sense to do first. But fresh putty, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna grab a different pen with some like nice old putty and at least do this first symbol with it. Okay. Anyway. So, I'm just placing these as is, and just how they go down is how they go down, and it'll just have to be fine. But yeah, my overall experience with this kit so far has been, it's fine. It doesn't feel super monotonous or tedious to me. It's just kind of fun to work on this artwork, even though it's not turning out ideally. Weirdly, I'm still enjoying it. I don't know what it is. Probably part of it is that I'm not otherwise running into quality issues. The glue is great. I can read the symbols fine. I'm not having issues with the drills. So it's not like I'm having to work hard to do it. Plus it's a smaller canvas. So that helps too. Just to give you guys a little bit of background, because I've had a lot of new faces here and want to say first, welcome. I'll do a little bit of a small like reintroduction and also just kind of explain how a lot has changed in the past few months for me in terms of what I'm enjoying diamond painting and how my approach has been shifting in some really interesting to me ways. So my name is Katie, which yes, Diamonds and Washi, Katie. And I have been diamond painting for just over 6 years now. I've had my YouTube channel for 5.5 years. It'll be 6 years this fall. And when it comes to diamond painting, I enjoy diamond painting portraits. I like people. I like roomscapes where there's lots of like little things going on. I like pale pastels or sometimes like happier color palettes. And I like fantasy and mythical creatures, particularly dragons. And those are the kinds of things that I'm drawn to diamond painting. That hasn't changed as much as some of the other things about diamond painting have for me. I've enjoyed those kinds of diamond paintings, that kind of artwork for a while. One of the main things that has changed is that for the better part of the past 6 years, I have been someone that only enjoys working on one WIP at a time. Maybe two, in the rare instance, three. And something kind of just changed in the past couple of months where I felt like I wanted to try working on a bunch of WIPs at once. It was sparked by the 26 for 26 challenge, which if you have been watching most of my videos lately, I am sorry if you're just sick to death of hearing about it. It's just very top of mind at the moment. And there's a letter in the mix there. I gotta skip. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so with this challenge, there was something about it that I just couldn't stop thinking about. It just kept sounding so intriguing to me. And I decided I think I want to join in on this. And for me, what I think I want this to look like is just working on a ton of WIPs at once. And I was doing it in stages. I was looking through my Gems Flow app, which is what I use to track my diamond paintings, and just kind of saying, okay, if I were to do this challenge, what are the kits that I would hypothetically work on? Just hypothetically. And I grabbed some screenshots. I kind of easily narrowed it down to about 6 kits and to start. And then I was like, well, let me just go get the boxes out to look at them. Let me just get them out and see how it feels to take them out and see. And so I did. I just kept thinking, yep, okay. And then I thought, let me film some unboxings of the ones that I haven't filmed unboxing videos for yet. And let me kit some of these up and just see how I'm feeling once I see the canvases, see the drills, because I thought at the very least I can kit these up. And if I get them kitted up and then go, nope, I hate it, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm overwhelmed, then I can just pretend like I don't have a bunch kitted up. I'll just pick one, focus on that one, and exclusively work on that one like I only have one WIP. It's, there's an easy workaround here. So I got all of them kitted up. I looked at my stack of storage containers and put all the canvases in front of me. And I just kept nodding and going, yeah, no, this looks like this feels like something that I want to do. How do I want to approach it? I think that I don't want to just do one section at a time. That is going to feel like really clunky to have to switch between canvases every single time I finish a section. How about I do one row at a time instead? And I've loved that pace. I've really enjoyed that pace of things a lot because it feels like I can get some momentum and get like some visible progress made on, a single canvas. And then it's time to switch. And there's something about that is, it's working really well for me. And I'm currently, this is the start of round 3. So of all of these WIPs, they all have 2 rows done now because I started with this one, did a row on this one, then switched to the next canvas, started with the row on that one, then switched to the next canvas and so on. And so I've done 2 full pass-throughs at this point, and this is the start of pass-through number 3. And I'm not tired of it yet. In round 2, I finished a kit, which I shared in my month in review video. If you haven't gotten the chance to see my April month in review and you'd like to take a look at the progress on the different kits that I've been working on, I will have that linked below as long as I remember. If not, you'll find it on my channel. It'll be just a video or 2 before this one. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm really enjoying this so much. And I don't know how long it'll last for, but I'm just gonna keep rolling with it till it does. In round 2, I finished a kit, and I am planning on, when I get to what would have been that kit's turn, I think that was number 4, I'm gonna kit up a new kit. I think I'm gonna kit up one of those mini canvases from, like snack size canvases from the Diamond Design Co. And one of the bedrooms in a glass bottle, a room in a glass bottle, and work on one of those. So it'll be a mix of big and small kits. And it's one of those things where, for example, this particular kit, I feel like I would not be having as enjoyable of a time with it or be as content with it if I were only working on this kit, because I would get tired of working with exclusively alphanumeric symbols. I would be feeling bummed and like maybe even a little bit like, am I wasting my time working on a kit that I'm not absolutely in love with the finished look of it, kind of thing. But because I'm only doing a row on this one and then moving to another kit, it's like I don't have time to get tired of it. I don't have time to sit and think about like, oh, this feels like I'm wasting time. I don't know how to explain it. But I also completely understand if you hear about a project or process like this and go, that's just simply not for me. That wouldn't feel satisfying. I would feel like I had no momentum and wasn't finishing any projects. And I mean, I can completely understand that perspective and have been in your shoes before, like a few months ago. So yeah, it's been interesting. This has enabled me to work on some kits in my collection that I think I have otherwise been hesitant to work on. And I like that. I like that it feels like it's opening some different doors for me and letting me work on some projects that were otherwise just languishing, where I didn't want to de-stash them because I knew that someday I wanted to work on them, but I thought I'd be in such a particular mood to work on that canvas. And I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. I'm just along for the ride. And I don't know. I had thought, do I want to kit up even more than 6? this kitting up 6 put me at 7 whips because I had one big whip in progress before I decided to start this challenge. So technically right now I have 7 whips, not just 6. 6 new ones. I know it's kind of weird to describe, but I thought, do I want to go even more? Because originally I thought maybe I'll go for double digits, but this feels like about the right number for me right now. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I'm torn. Right now this feels right, and so I'm not going to push it necessarily to do way more. But as I have, if there's kits that come in that I'm like, I have to work on this right away, then I can. So, yeah, that's how this has been going though. And my other projects in the rotation, I'm having some mixed feelings about them. There's 1 or 2 that I'm not loving as much, and a couple others that I cannot wait to get back to. So, yeah, I think that a lot of that will be evident which is which if you happened to take a peek at my month in review. But long story short, this one is fine, just kind of like in the middle of the pack. My favorites of the bunch are probably the Herbalist from Jolly Gem Shop and Impressionist Sky from Diamond Art Club and You May. And then I'm struggling with my Creativity Squirrel Kit. That one is, I'm a little bit bummed that I'm having not as much fun working on that one because that wasn't what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. So that's another kit that, similar to Semblance, this project, I'm glad that I am only doing a row at a time, and then I get to move on to the next kit. So yeah, that's kind of the state of things. But it was fun to do a month in review where instead of me just going, okay, here's a couple of finishes and 1 or 2 whips, and then we keep it moving. Instead, it was, here's a couple of finishes, and let's talk about 7 or 6 whips. And what's interesting is that I kind of get the impression that at least some of you guys prefer seeing a lot of whips because that particular video has gotten a lot more views than my month in reviews often do. So it's interesting just to see, sort of like, are you guys feeling in the mood for lots of whips too? Or is it just fun to watch as an observer? I have to say, I feel like I'm enjoying seeing all of the different, creators and other crafters that are sharing about joining in on the challenge and how excited they are. And even if it weren't this challenge, if it were something else, there's just something about seeing people being really excited for a thing that makes me really excited. And I'm like, yeah, I want to watch all of your videos where you're talking about this thing that you're just clearly having so much fun doing and you're genuinely excited about doing. And maybe it's a little bit of that too. If you guys are feeling that, like, we're just having fun. Like, I'm just having the best time. So yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride, especially if this is not at all an approach that you personally would be into for yourself for diamond painting. Anyway, so let's see what else. What are my little notes over here? Because I am ever forgetful. New releases. I was curious to hear if there were any new releases you guys had snagged this week. Not just from DAC, but like lots of other shops have done some good new releases too. I have a couple of small shops I have been following a little bit more closely, and one I'm planning to quickly shop from before the sale ends this evening, thanks to the generosity of a very sweet viewer. So I'm gonna, I just smacked the camera really hard with my pen. Yeah, I'm excited to have some new small shops to try out with you guys. You've already seen a couple from me in the past couple of weeks, and I have even more to come, and that has it's been really exciting to feel like I'm able to get back a little bit to what I spent a lot more time doing when I first started my channel. A lot of trying out new to me small shops and all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to all of that, which now is a good time to remind you, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If this sounds like something you want to stay up to date with, yeah, it's all diamond painting all the time here, really. I don't tend to branch out into other crafts or other things like that. You'll occasionally hear me talk about my other hobbies, but I don't tend to do dedicated videos. There was a little while, man, one of my neighbor's dogs is really something set them off. I'm waiting to see if Scout decides to come and join in the fray. Scout is our dog. He's been such a goof lately. We'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, yeah, I did do a few videos on pixels around this time last year, but I haven't, because it's almost like a diamond painting adjacent craft, but I haven't picked that up in a while. I haven't felt the itch to do those. I haven't even picked up my cross stitch in a little while either. It's like I started this new challenge and all I want to do is diamond paint all the time. But my other hobby, they'll come back around. I guess I've been also spending a lot of time with video games, but as far as just what you'll see on my channel, what the videos will be related to, it'll be all diamond painting stuff. So yeah, anyway, long-winded way to invite you to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Yeah, I grabbed one of the new releases from DAC this weekend as well, that Art by Julia piece. I love the colors on it so much. I mentioned earlier I really enjoy roomscapes. I like all the little details, all the different little things going on. And I've also been just like sitting here waiting for the Art by Julia cat kits to get released. So I did grab that one. I actually held off on the Margaret Morales. I adore Margaret Morales' work, obviously. You could see this one here. But there was something about that particular artwork that wasn't speaking to me, and I've gotten very picky about what I will get for budgetary reasons and for space reasons, and just for like, what do I actually want to diamond paint? Like, how do I want to spend my time? And that one I was able to say no to. I loved the little sassy cat in that one, but there was something about like, I don't know. I didn't necessarily love the like Southern Belle style. I don't think I'd enjoy diamond painting that. And all of that blue on top of it, I just thought all I'm really liking about this is the cat. Can I just cut out the cat and work on the sassy cat? And so no, I did not get that one. But I understand a lot of people did. She sold out fast. I can't blame you. Guys, if you were jumping on that one. Okay, we got a lot of that bottom section of color blocking done, but I see more of this color kind of sprinkled in up here. But you can see through the camera, right? How there's all kinds of different amounts of AB coating on these diamonds. And can you imagine trying to pick through and get them all to look super consistent? I can't be bothered. And I don't have like just that particular light pink color in my spare drill storage, not enough of it to just do a straight replacement across the board. I just thought, you know what? We're not going to think about it that hard. We're just going to let this roll. It's not like this is going to be like a perfect canvas in terms of the rendering anyway. Like this is completely fine. Let's just roll with it. Which I don't know, sometimes stuff like that would really, really, really bother me and I could not tolerate it, but I don't know. I'm not how I'm feeling at the moment. So, yeah. So that's new releases this weekend. And then otherwise, this weekend was pretty relaxed, just for me and on the home front. I got a decent amount of diamond painting done, mostly home bodies with the kiddos. It was Adam's last weekend of filming. It's been I think he had 6 weeks in a row of this film project that he had done with some friends and colleagues. And yeah, I think they're wrapping as we speak. I didn't know if he would walk in partway through, but I've got my computer open off screen so I can keep an eye out if he texts to let me know he's on his way home. And which is fine. He could say hi. You guys love Adam, right? But yeah, so he was gone most of the weekend, and the kids and I just took it pretty easy. I got some yard work done outside. With the spring weather, it's like we get a little bit of rain and everything sprouts up overnight. And so we have a lot of weeds and stuff like that. So I was out there working this evening trying to pull a bunch of stuff because it was finally not like super hot. So got that done and got a fair amount of diamond painting done. I got another column finished on Herald of Spring, which is that giant Diamond Dots Masterclass piece of that Pegasus, and finally got to put down some of those flower-shaped diamonds that are like the special drills of that particular Masterclass line piece. They look really fun. I can't decide if I feel like they look kind of cheap. Not to be rude, but I'm torn. I'll be sure to show you guys. It'll get its own dedicated post review for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it, honestly. But I was glad to get some work done on that one. It helped because I was able to just take over the kitchen table. It's such a big kit. It's a little bit tricky to set up to work on. And often, like, during the weekend, if Adam is around, like, he'll set up and work at the kitchen table with me because we can, like, body double and stuff. But, so yeah, it's convenient when he's not around and I could just take over the whole space. When I've got those big projects anyway. So yeah, that was the weekend, which I guess just to tag on to my sort of brief re-intro, where I talked earlier about just sort of what diamond painting on YouTube has looked like. On the home front, I am married. My husband is Adam, who I just mentioned. We have been married it'll be 16 years next month, which is really crazy to think. I just somewhat recently passed the milestone of having known him and like been with him, like dating for officially over half of my life, which again is really, really crazy to think. So we live in Southern California. We've got 2 young kiddos. We've got Connor and Micah. Connor turns 11 this month. Also just crazy to think that like when I started my channel that my kids were so much younger. Like Micah was 2. Micah's my youngest. He's 8. He just turned 8. And yeah, they keep us hopping, but they're really, really wonderful kids. They do have special needs. They're both autistic and just like their mom. And we've got a pretty neurodivergent household over here. So it's never a dull moment, but we're just trying to go about life as gracefully as we can and take it a day at a time. So this is currently what I do. I don't have a career at the moment aside from when we had kids, I became a stay-at-home mom, and this kind of organically just turned into something that I sort of is my productive time in some ways. And yeah, so that's us. I like to read. I like to play video games. Just basically do all the nerd fandom-y hobbies. And yeah, that's I guess just a little mini re-intro for those of you that are newer, which welcome again if you are newer. I love always seeing new faces here. Feel free to say hello in the comments and let me know what you're working on and how you're doing. Let's see what else we've been up to this week. So I have been super tired this weekend. I took a nap both afternoons, even though I got to sleep in both mornings. And I just feel a little bit like I've been dragging. And I think that I've gotten into a bad habit of just staying up too late at night again. Night after my kids go to bed is my most productive time. It's when I get, for lack of a better word, it's when I get a lot of, quote, work done, whether it's things related to YouTube, like filming videos, editing, and all kind of like the admin side of things when I have time. It's also when I get a lot of my diamond painting itself done, but it's also then when I get time with Adam, and it's when I get my just downtime. So I'm trying to squeeze in a lot, like take back daylight in the evenings. And so I just tend to go to sleep really, really late. And that's something I've talked about a lot here. Just I feel like I'm ever trying to adjust my sleep schedule and go to bed a little bit earlier, and I can make more use of my days, like while the kids are in school. Though, to be fair, the end of the school year isn't that far away either. Man, it's like really stuck in there. I think because some of these are just kind of slightly oversized. Well, I don't know where that drill went. I'll sweep it up later when I sweep my floors. All right, so that was all just that one color. Now we finally get to change colors. But when I look at this, yeah, the symbols just don't pop to my eyes nearly as much as if there were non-alphanumeric symbols in the bunch. But it's fine. Make do. What was I saying about the weekend? Getting stuff done. Oh, napping, sleep. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not opposed to being a night owl. Oh, I can switch back to my other pen. I'm not opposed to being a night owl, but I don't like that my sleep is still sometimes wonky. I would like to feel more rested during the day and not like I'm just forever trying to catch up on sleep. So I don't know. I keep working on finding a better happy medium with that. I think my messed up sleep has also probably been because it's felt like it's been a little worse lately. I think it's probably contributed to a really bad migraine I had the other day. So I do deal with, chronic migraines, but a couple of years ago had discovered a rescue med that works so well for me, which was such a huge blessing after trying a few different rescue meds, and which is like just one you take as needed when you feel a migraine coming on. I tried a couple of different ones and just with very, very mixed luck. I'd hoped that I would have the same response to Imitrex that my mom has, because I figured that's what the doctor had said. She's like, often there's a genetic link between migraines, and so if your mom deals with chronic migraines, what works for her is likely to work for you, and unfortunately that was not the case. And then I had found another rescue med that worked like maybe 50% of the time, but then a couple of years ago, I got to try Nurtec, and it was like, this works for me 98% of the time. It's like a miracle for me and just brings me so much relief. So between that and being more diligent about identifying my triggers, things like red meat, certain artificial sweeteners, and food dyes, not to like demonize artificial sweeteners and stuff. It's just the simple fact of the matter is that artificial sweeteners and soda, like aspartame, that's a confirmed migraine trigger for me. I can sometimes get away with like one serving of it in a blue moon, but I used to partake in soda pop more often, and now I'm basically just like exclusively a iced green tea drinker. That's where I get my caffeine and my, option that's not water when I want to mix it up a little bit. Anyway, having identified and eliminated a number of my triggers, what I can control. I can't control things like air pressure changes, seasonal changes, stuff like that, or if I'm exposed to really strong smells that I can't get away from or something. But my migraines are a lot more under control now than they were 2 years ago, or even a year ago, it feels like. But I ended up with, I think from a combination of different factors, a few nights ago with a really bad migraine, and my rescue med wouldn't touch it. And I started to panic thinking, this so rarely happens that like it doesn't do the trick. And so I had an ice cap on my head. I was trying to do all the things and it just wasn't quite doing it. So for the first time in over a year, I took Excedrin migraine, which I hate taking so much. It worked. And it would often work. Usually worked, I should say. It almost always worked before, but I just had really tried to get away from it because it is so hard on your system. It was so hard on my system. Just wrecked my stomach and made me feel all kinds of off. But I thought, I've got to get rid of this. Like, I was trying to figure out, do I go to sleep? Do I roll the dice? Do I go to sleep and hope that I just wake up with it gone? But it felt like one of those migraines that I thought, if I go to sleep with this, I'm going to wake up with it worse, because I've had those before too. And it just felt like that kind of migraine. So I tried to at least mitigate. I took the Excedrin with I made sure I had eaten something. I drank a whole glass of water. I stayed upright. I tried to do all the things to minimize. My migraine went away. I was able to go to sleep. So this was at midnight or 1 a.m. Went to sleep, woke up migraine free, but just, my stomach it just was hating me. I felt like my skin was buzzing, and I thought, this is why I hate taking this. But it got rid of my migraine. So I hope that I don't have one of those again anytime soon. And there were probably some other things that I just had gotten lazy about with some triggers that day or something. I don't know. And the weather has been changing. Whenever we have these big seasonal changes, that's always a factor too. But the Excedrin worked. I dealt with the side effects in here. It's fine. I'm glad I had that option at least. So, yeah, that was a bit of an adventure, but, and then Scout's been kind of keeping us on our toes. I can't remember if I mentioned this in last week's WIP and Chat, but he had been favoring his back left paw. And it had gotten to about the week mark and he was still favoring it. It was about the same. He was not acting like he was in any kind of pain. He was still being his regular, super energetic self, like running, jumping, playing, and putting weight on it just fine whenever he was in motion. But it's like whenever he would stop and just stand still, he'd kind of lightly lift up that back left leg. So it had been a week. And we thought, even though he's not showing any signs of pain or anything, like, it's been a week. Like, let's take him in. So Adam took him into the vet on Monday, Tuesday, doesn't matter. And the vet basically said, I'm not really seeing any major cause for concern here. My guess is just that which I was surprised she didn't recommend any imaging because I was nervous. I thought, I want to do what's best for our dog, but once you start getting into x-rays and stuff like that can get really expensive really fast, and we're going to be responsible pet owners, but also ideally, this is not going to be something that they're going to say we need to do. And she didn't at all. She just said, I really just think that from what we can tell, it looks like he probably just pulled or strained something. Maybe because he moves so fast, he probably just, turned or stretched or reached like too fast or too hard and just probably pulled something. And so she said the best thing that we can recommend is rest and an anti-inflammatory. And Adam just sort of chuckled when she mentioned rest. And he's like, she's like, ideally he would just like rest in his kennel, come out to use the bathroom and eat, and then go back in his kennel. And we just said there's absolutely no way that he is voluntarily going to do that. So she also gave us, she's like, okay, we can do some gabapentin. Let me tell you what, the gabapentin is barely slowing him down either, but he has been a little bit more chill, and we're doing everything we can to minimize like the running and the jumping. And the anti-inflammatory seems to be helping too, but kind of the marker will be like in a day or two when we're done with that anti-inflammatory to see if it stays better or if he starts favoring it again. So anyway, just wanted to give an update because I think that we talked about that in last week's WIP and Chat. And I know I have lots of dog folks in here, so I wanted to mention oh my gosh, I almost called him by our last dog's name. Scout. Scout's been doing just fine. So yeah, so there's that. I also had physical therapy this week, and I went in, I had a little bit of trepidation because I wasn't sure if she was going to want to do more like therapeutic massage. I mentioned in last week's WIP and Chat, I think, yes, that in my first physical therapy appointment, she had done this therapeutic massage and it actually left visible bruising and a decent amount of soreness afterward. And I thought, this is fine if this is normal, like if this is what needs to happen for healing to happen, I'm on board, do what we need to do. But in the event that it's not, I am going to mention it to her just so she's aware. So she had asked, how I was feeling, how things were going. And I said, I feel like I'm trying to stick with my exercises and stuff, but I wasn't able to do them every day because I was having some pain after the last time and I wasn't sure what all to power through and what to rest on. And I just said, just so you know, I don't know if this is normal, but I did have some pretty visible bruising, significant bruising after the last session. Her face, she was like, oh, you did? Oh no. And she goes, do you tend to bruise easily? And I said, not really, not particularly. She said, oh, she said, I'm sorry. She said, some bruising can be normal, but not, kind of what it sounds like you're describing. And I just told her the same thing I said to you guys, where I said, if that's just part of like what needs to happen to, do the massage to address like the problem areas, that's fine. I just wanted to mention it in case it's not. So she did a little bit of therapeutic massage this time but was definitely gentler about it. And I don't really have any major soreness now. So the kicker is that now she's on maternity leave. I just am chuckling a little bit. There's so many people like in mine and my kids' lives right now. It's like, oh, I'm going on maternity leave, or oh, I'm getting married. And just various people that's like, okay, I'm going to be gone for a few weeks or a few months. It's completely fine, but it's just the timing of it all does sort of make me chuckle. So she said, I'm going on maternity leave, as you know, and she asked when was I going to be able to see this other therapist that she had recommended that specializes in shoulder and like upper arm injuries. And I said, well, she didn't have any availability for like 2 or 3 weeks, so I scheduled, and I'm on her cancellation list. And she said, okay, well, in the meantime, try to stay up on your exercises and stuff, and so-and-so will take great care of you once you see her. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to get off the cancellation list and be able to see her a little bit sooner, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna try to be a good patient. They have like an app for like tracking your exercises and stuff, and it sends you reminders, and so it has like video demos and stuff of the exercises, so I'm gonna try to stick with that. And part of me is like, does it report this back to the therapist, like if you check these boxes and stuff or not? So anyway, I'll use that and try to be a good patient, because I know that it's not going to get better if I don't do the exercises at home. Okay, which one is sticking out to me the most? Okay, maybe that letter P. Where is it? Hold on a second. Okay. I'm not going to even dump this out because there's only 3 of this one. Talk about a pure computer render on this one. My gosh. So yeah, anyway, that was the physical therapy update and how she responded. I was like, yeah, I bruised. She's like, oh no. We also had a plumber come out for an issue this week, which I don't know. Homeowners, or really anyone that deals with like tradespeople or contractors, does anyone else just feel like I don't know, like it would just be way too easy for them to pull one over on you? Because that's how I feel. So I found a plumber to use for this issue where I was pretty sure that I don't know what the parts are called, but like inside like the toilet tank, the seals, like in the rubber gasket or whatever, like those can deteriorate and go down, and our toilets kept randomly running. So I was like, I'm pretty sure that there's this thing that's going on. Our water bill was going up, was the main reason that I thought, okay, we need to actually, I think, have someone out to look at this. So I tried to research and find someone, but I just thought, I don't know the smallest thing about toilets and plumbing. He could just be totally lying to me. Like, I just have to trust like what he is saying and the work that he is doing. And I felt so out of my depth. Similar with like car stuff. I'm so glad we have a mechanic that I feel like we can genuinely trust, going to for forever too. But I have yet to find a plumber that I feel similarly about. And this guy, he was very nice. I didn't get any weird vibes from him or anything, but he replaced the parts and everything, but now our toilets are flushing weird. I even had him come back out to look at them again. It's like they're doing this weird double flushing thing. And he looked at everything. He said, it might be something with like the new parts. He said, but it's not using any extra water. It's not, for all intents and purposes, like there's nothing wrong here. And he said it could be that, the parts before that they had deteriorated to the point that your toilets weren't flushing correctly. And I just thought, I don't think that's right either, but I didn't know what to say. Like I had him come back out and look at it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to have him like go out and buy like new parts, like different parts to see. I just didn't know what to do. I felt kind of at a loss. And Adam too, like, cause I was looping him in as well. And he's like, my husband, bless his heart, he's great at many things. He is not handy, and he knows it. He can follow some IKEA instructions, but he is not someone that is going to be able to like do a DIY home stuff, really. So we were just trying our best, but I just thought we've got to have naive homeowners written all over our faces. And that's so frustrating to me. So I just am trusting that someone's character, they're not going to take advantage of me. And yeah, so that was just kind of frustrating. And I'm still kind of like bothered by how our toilets are flushing, but I don't even know what to do. Maybe the next time my dad is out here, he's really handy. I'll probably have him take a look at it because he might, have a suggestion or something. And then what else? Oh, I have a funny Micah story. I always have funny Micah stories. He's just at an age where he's got a lot of funny stories. So he's had a wiggly tooth for a few days, like a week. And he would always like point it out when we'd brush his teeth and stuff. And I'd see him reach up and wiggle it sometimes. And this is different from the one that he lost at the beach a few weeks ago, where he like just pulled it out and walked up to us and was like, I lost a tooth. This was like the one on the other side, like still on the top row, but like basically the mirrored, like the other tooth just on the other side. And so this morning I came down and he had been awake for a bit. And I saw he came up to me, gave me a hug, and was like smiling at me and talking to me a little bit. And I looked and I saw him like, oh, buddy, you lost a tooth. And he like reached up almost like he hadn't realized. Now he's very speech delayed. So sometimes the way that he will describe things or the way that he kind of like processes information as well can be a little like delayed for his age and not neurotypical. So sometimes I'm trying to translate what he means or try to guess like how much he is understanding of what I'm saying. So he like reached up and he was like, he said, yes, lost a tooth. And I said, well, where is the tooth? Where is it? And he said, upstairs. I asked the tooth fairy for help. And I just thought, okay. I went upstairs. I couldn't find it anywhere. And he didn't, when you ask him like how or why questions, he doesn't understand how to answer those questions. So I was trying to ask for a little bit more clarifying information. He just didn't have any for me, and he didn't know how to like point out to me wherever this tooth ended up. My guess is that it actually may have fallen out in his sleep last night, and that he either swallowed it or it like fell somewhere that I just wasn't able to easily find it. Like maybe fell between like the mattress and the wall or something like that and is under his bed. I don't know. But so the tooth fairy is apparently not going to be visiting tonight because we don't have a tooth for her. But Mike has already like forgotten and moved on. Like he's not bothered. Apparently he asked the tooth fairy for help last night. I'm like, great. I'm so glad that you were able to enlist her help, and that yeah, great. Awesome. Maybe he means that because he couldn't find it, maybe he couldn't actually find it either. So when he said it was upstairs, maybe he just meant like that was the last place that he had seen it. And maybe him saying he asked the tooth fairy for help was his way of telling me that like he didn't know where it was. I'm not sure, but I thought it was funny anyway. I asked the tooth fairy for help. Oh, okay, great. Glad to hear you being very self-sufficient. So, oh, he's so funny. Connor's been very, very sweet recently too. He was glad to have a very chill weekend, and he's counting down the days to his birthday. And he likes to tease me a little bit now. He's like, Mom, in less than 3 weeks, I'm going to be 11 and I'm not going to be your little boy anymore. And I'm like, you stop that right now. And he laughed because he knows exactly what he's doing. And I was like, you're not allowed to say that. And he just laughed. And I said, I am, after we're silly about it, I'm like, I'm so glad that just every year you grow into more of an amazing kid. And I love watching you grow and celebrating every birthday with you. And I just look forward to whatever my relationship looks like with you as your mom as you get older. And got a little sappy, and then he just proceeded to like go on and talk about something else. look, I'm super sappy and nostalgic, but I also am not trying to like raise a stereotypical mama's boy either. So I'm just trying to walk this middle ground somehow super gracefully, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, I'm going to add a little like tagline in here about this gosh darn video game that is my hyperest of hyper fixations right now. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I was thinking about it the other day. I had finished that game and I just started a replay of it, booted up New Game Plus, because that's an option with this game, and started a replay, and I'm just like, I love it. I just want to keep sitting in this world and absorbing it and just listening to the music forever. And also this week I finished Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, which was just an amazing book. And I just sat there for a minute thinking, how lucky am I right now to just be experiencing some beautifully, wonderfully creative stories that are so well written that I just want to immerse myself in, that I can't get enough of. I feel like I was in kind of a slump for a while with those things, and it just feels like such a treat that just the past few weeks in particular, like the books that I've been reading, the games that I've been playing, I've just gotten to really enjoy some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stories. Regardless of what the medium is, whether it's, audiobook or a video game. I think that because there's a lot that's hard right now in sort of the real world, there's probably some, like a little bit of escapism going on. It's like there are these other spaces that are just, I love getting to immerse myself in. But I don't know, there's just something about a really well-written, well-crafted story. So, I finished Words of Radiance, and I'm not going to give any spoilers. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive series from Brandon Sanderson, and it was quite a long book. It's, I think, over 50 hours if you listen at just normal speed on Audible. And I listen at like almost 2 times speed with these narrators. So it was like 24 hours, I think. And it was just such a wonderful book. The first book spent a lot of time, I feel like, doing a lot of setup and introducing you to some of the main characters more individually. And again, I'm not going to give spoilers, but the second book, it's like it took all of that and went, okay, now here's what we get to do with it. We get to explore further. We get to dive more into the story of it. We get to see some of these characters together, and because a lot of them are kind of doing their own, they're kind of individual, they're apart from each other. The stories are apart from each other in the first book. But in this one, it's like you get to start seeing them together. And I was like kicking my heels with delight when it's like a couple of characters finally met that I was like, yeah, I get to actually see them together. And Brandon Sanderson just has a way of telling stories that I feel like are very accessible, but also like not simplistic necessarily, but it just feels like it's something that works for my mind. When I'm listening to an audiobook, I feel like I can very easily picture what's going on. And the characters have just such clear voices, and their stories are also interesting, even though they're all very different from one another, just even from their age, their personalities, and their life experiences. It just, I don't know. There's a reason I think that he and his works are so popular. And I'm glad that I didn't let hype get in the way of me enjoying these books. Because sometimes I can have that kind of reaction. I know I'm not the only one, where something gets really, really, really overhyped, to be honest. This was me with Claire Obscura as a video game for a while, where I was like, everyone's talking about it and I do want to play it, but there's this knee-jerk reaction of like, okay, everyone is playing it and talking about how amazing it is. I need everyone to calm down, because don't pressure me to play it, please. Like, just chill. So that can sometimes be my initial reaction. My gut reaction is, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon, like, I just let me live my life and discover things. Like, things will get too overhyped. And I just haven't found that to be the case with the stories I've been able to enjoy recently. So next up is in the series order for these books is a novella, and I did just see that I got a notification from Libby earlier that my hold became available, so I'll be able to listen to that one through Libby. And then after that is another huge, like, I think it's even slightly longer than Words of Radiance was. The next like big Stormlight book is Oathbringer. So I'm going to keep rolling with it. I tend to do this when I get into a series is I kind of lock in and I'm like, all right, let's go through everything that's available out there, as opposed to hopping between different books and series and stuff like that. Watching, not a whole lot to say on this front. I keep meaning to pick back up with watching Arcane over on Netflix, because I'd watched a couple episodes of that one and gotten sidetracked by The Untamed and then just didn't go back to Arcane. But I would like to. So maybe I'll do that this evening, because I've been mainlining a lot of YouTube content surrounding Expedition 33 and like just hours upon hours upon hours of it, because it's hyperfixation, right? I can't get enough. But I think I might be ready to, now that I'm playing the game again, getting my fix that way. It's like, okay, I can do other things with my watching time, you know? So maybe I'll pick back up with Arcane this week. We'll see. And then listening to nothing exciting on this front, really, aside from the soundtrack to Expedition 33. I know I'm obnoxious about it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's hard when it's something that it's like, I just can't get it out of my head. Adam and I have had multiple like philosophical discussions about it even. It's just one of those games that it sticks with you in a good way. So, and this soundtrack is incredible. It's just pure magic. Okay. What I've got coming up this week. I have a package that just came in yesterday from Preston Place, which is a new to me small shop and a pretty new shop to the community as well. So I may have that unboxing ready for you guys this week. I don't know that I'll have a DAC sneak peek. They posted recently about some big delays at customs, and there's a big question mark for when stuff's going to get released. So, as in released by customs. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear. If I have something, it's great. If not, then I have other videos I could share. I have some other unboxings I can maybe share with you guys. What do I have? Oh, Diamond Delights. I might have something from them this week. We'll see what UPS does. And maybe some reviews. If I start finishing any of the kits in this rotation that I want to do post reviews on, then I will see about getting those for you. So yeah, I think that's about it. So what should we do for our emoji? Is there a lemon emoji? Because we've got our lemon sugar cookie. How about a lemon emoji? If you made it all the way to the end, just let me know you made it all the way to the end. If you don't have a lemon emoji, you could pick your favorite food emoji that you do have available to you. We got a lot done on this, actually. I'm going to finish this section and then keep going. This next section has her face. I'm very anxious about how this is going to turn out, but I'm just going to keep it rolling. You guys will see this finished at some point for sure. And yeah, I'm trying to post a little bit more over on Instagram too, so you can keep an eye out for me over there if you want as well. But that's it, you guys. Thank you for joining me for my WIP and Chat this week. I have a playlist of my weekly WIP and Chats if you're interested in going back and watching some of my past ones just for some company while you craft. I'll have that playlist linked below. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you were working on today, what you were up to. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you again, friends. I hope you were doing very, very well. Happy crafting. I will chat with you in the next one. Bye.